Until Fort Dodge. How are you doing? Straight south.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. It is 4:30 on Wednesday, September 7, 2016, and we shall begin our council meeting. May I please have a roll call?
Pete Hamill.
Here.
Randy Funker.
Here.
Brad Hint.
Here.
Greg Gills.
Here.
Zach Sawyer.
Here.
Thank you. First on the agenda is public comments. Do we have any public comments? We have none, so we'll move on to the next item, which is our consent agenda.
One question.
Yes.
The Chauncey, did they have, is this another one, or did they have?
That'll
to
be for this
postpone?
weekend.
Okay.
They did have theirs on.
They did have one before, now they have another one?
Yes, I guess
Okay.
so.
This will just be during the day for the tour to Sheldon.
Okay,
Not a nighttime one.
all right. Very good.
Thank you.
It's the bike ride.
Any, no questions, no comments, and do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So move.
Support?
Last request for comment. I have a roll call, please.
Funker.
Aye.
Gills.
Aye.
Hamill.
Aye.
Sawyer.
Aye.
Hint.
Aye.
Going into new business, number 3 is considering a proposal from the SEDC. Kurt, you want to step on up and share what you have with us, please?
Good afternoon, Council and Mayor. Scott, it's the last time. Good luck.
No,
So moved.
Hey, so enjoy this last time, this last
Maybe
proposal.
they'll let me vote the last time.
What's that?
Maybe they'll let me vote the
Yeah,
last
maybe
time.
give you a vote. For
Or
this
maybe
last
not.
one. Or maybe not.
Take all the time you need, Kurt.
Take as much time as I need. Yeah, you don't have anywhere to be tonight, do you, Scott?
No plans.
Just leave.
You could just leave too, exactly.
If we can get enough nays at the adjournment, he can just stay.
Guaranteed
That's true.
one.
Get everybody to piggyback with you, Pete, tonight, and we'll stay here for a while. So, no, just the development committee has reached an agreement with G&E Cabinetry, and Jared and Evan are in the room with us today, to sell them the lot, which is directly to the west of where the village treasure chest is at in town. It's along Highway 18. That lot total is about 1.71 acres. So, G&E Cabinetry, they've been growing extensively over the last few years, and their plan is to construct a brand new 12,000 square foot facility that'll include approximately 1,400 square feet of high quality showroom space up front. This development will carry at minimum an assessment of $400,000 and generate approximately $12,240 in new commercial property tax per year. It has come as a recommendation from the SEDC Development Committee to sell this lot to G&E for $1 in exchange of having them sign a $400,000 minimum assessment agreement and contract for development with the City of Sheldon. Based on the agreement and memorandum of understanding with the City of Sheldon, the SEDC is obligated to reimburse the city $18,125 per acre. So based on this proposal, the Development Committee is requesting the city to forgive $30,993.75 as part of this project. With final approval from the City Council, G&E has plans to begin construction yet this fall on their new location. Like I mentioned above, this is an exciting project for Sheldon as we continue to see our existing businesses grow and expand right here in our community. With that said, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer for them, but in a nutshell, that is the proposal.
Wonderful, thank you. Any questions for Kurt?
Other than I think it's a good project.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. That'll really make that space look a little more finished. Thank you, gentlemen.
And I'll make the motion to approve that sale and the forgiveness of the land.
I'll support that.
Okay, any last questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Sawyer.
At this point in time, I'm going to abstain from voting. Conflict of interest.
Hamill.
Aye.
Funker.
Aye.
Hint.
Aye.
Gills.
Aye.
Scott, did you want to vote? I'm just kidding. Okay, thank you, Kurt. And then are you also going to share with us information on the website, or is that
Yeah, Allison is actually going to do that.
Okay, thank you. No, you're
I think Kurt was going to cry if he had to say bye to Scott again.
We'll get the tissue.
Tears of joy.
Yeah. No, I was just asked to give you guys a brief update on where we're at with our website redesign. I know in our 2015 our action plan, our goal planning session, we had talked about updating our City of Sheldon and SCDC website. It is very out of date. There's a lot of things on our website that we can't update. Angie may put something on the homepage, and Michelle puts something on the homepage, and all of a sudden there's nothing on the homepage. We have several phone calls during the week, probably three phone calls every week with people trying to find things on our website, whether it be a list of landlords, housing, that type of stuff, where we are constantly trying to get people to find things on our website. And the goal for our website is to be able to get somebody to find something in 2 clicks. And the website is basically the first thing that people look at when they are interested in Sheldon, whether it be just relocating, their family relocating, rec stuff, city services, development, chamber businesses. So at this point, we are moving forward with that. We did talk about it at the SCDC board meeting this morning. We are hoping that at the earliest on the September 21st board meeting or council meeting that we will have a proposal. So that is our goal. We just kind of want to give you guys an update. Since the website is shared with the city and the chamber, we wanted to keep you in the loop and let you know that where we're at with that.
When you get there, will it be something where Ange or whomever in the city office can do something and the
Correct.
SCDC can do something? Good.
Yep,
Okay.
and we can constantly update it.
Okay.
And that's one of the things that one of the requests we gave we've gotten 5 proposals so far. And that's one of the things that we gave them as a request is we want to be able to update that.
Absolutely.
We want to be able to get on there and update a business phone number, update their logo or their address. So that is something that Angie and Michelle and anybody will have access to be able to update. We want to keep it very modern. Times are changing. We want our website to be modernized, to be efficient and easily navigable. So that's our goal with the new website, is to keep it fresh and have it be able to be mobile friendly and easy to navigate.
Wonderful. Okay. We'll look forward to that in 2 weeks, right?
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Fingers
That's our
crossed.
goal.
All right. We'll hold you to it. Thank you very much. Number 5 on our agenda is considering approval of firefighters joining the SCAT team. And Kevin, do you want to come up and share information on that with us, please?
As all of you know, SCAT is always looking for new members to join our team, and we are always looking for ways to better serve the citizens of Sheldon. One way that we feel would enhance that would be by adding the fire department, the members of the Sheldon Fire Company, to our roster. By doing this, it will allow them to be able to drive our ambulances as well as work in the back of our rigs, therefore enabling us to use them in emergency type situations. Our proposal today is that we add every single member of the Sheldon Fire Company to our roster so we may be able to use them in situations.
Okay. And all are in favor of joining SCAT then with fire?
Correct.
All those on fire are in favor of joining SCAT?
Correct.
That's wonderful. Okay.
Because we have couple EMTs. We have a couple, I think there's probably 6 EMRs, first responders, that have skills. They're not using them all the time, and we've kind of talked about it, and we're not going to be the primary ambulance, but we're going to be the backup for them. If they have not enough people for SCAT 2, it sounds like we're going to be helping one of their EMTs
Nice.
or being their driver if they need a driver. So we're all on board to do it.
Great.
We've
Glad to hear
talked
that.
about it. A few things we got to work out yet, but everybody was on board.
Okay.
So
All right, then that's our first item. So before we move on, we need to have approval of considering the firefighters to join the SCAT. You have the list before you. It was in your packets. Any questions regarding that?
This is what Kevin and I talked about, was trying to come up with a simplified application form instead of making the firefighters fill out and go through the entire process again. There's already the physical assessment process and program that they go through as firefighters. So Kevin's kind of working on coming up with a simplified form for them basically to sign and all agree to, instead of making them fill out a whole separate complete application process for the SCAT team.
I believe we've come up with that because we filled out stuff the other night.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Good.
okay, all
They
right.
would be compensated on the same basis as all the other SCAT members?
That's, I think, what the understanding
Right.
is. Just like when they go on a call, just
Sure.
like any other member. Correct.
I don't think we even discussed that. So,
I think that's the intent, isn't it, Kevin? They'd be on the same.
Correct. If they
Schedule.
run as a SCAT member on a SCAT 2 call, they would be as a SCAT member at that point.
Okay. All right. Any other questions then? I mean, do we have a motion to approve that?
So move.
support right here.
Support right here?
Support,
Okay,
that's
one of
true.
those, okay. Got that?
I think so.
Okay, may I have a roll call, please?
Yields,
Aye.
Funkert,
Aye.
Hamel,
Aye.
Hint,
Aye.
Sawyer.
Aye.
The next on our agenda is the, considering the proposal for the new ambulance. And Kevin, you want to share with us on that as well?
SCAT has been rigorously looking at a few new ambulances. We have had companies come down, we have inspected them, we have given them ideas that we feel would be best suiting for the needs of SCAT and also for the needs of our patients. We did receive 2 bids, and that being Clocks Emergency Vehicles from Sterling, Illinois, and Arrow from Rock Rapids. Clocks Emergency Vehicles quoted us a price of $154,622 with a trade-in value for our SCAT 2 ambulance, which is a 2000, of $8,500, making a final quote for them $146,122. There does not include any graphics, and they did not totally compromise with what SCAT requested to have done on our ambulance to fit our needs. Arrow gave us a quote of $149,790 with a $5,000 trade-in value, giving us a quote of $144,790. Their quote did include graphics, and they also included extra features that SCAT would find beneficial to patient care. Overall, SCAT recommends Arrow to the City Council.
Absolutely.
Is there any questions?
I think you all saw in our notes in our last FYI from Scott, this is in their budget for this fiscal year. Up to 170,000, right?
Yeah. Is that, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's 170, I think they have in there.
I actually was just thinking, I can't remember if it's 170 or 175.
Okay,
But
and you
yes.
want to verify how
But
much is
covered what
available
the-
for counties to set aside some funds each year. Okay.
Quote amount is.
Okay.
Is there funding available from the county for this at all?
There is. I don't know if we have an exact number yet from Barb on what that is. It's not a lot. It's like $2,500 per year, so I'm guesstimating probably about 10,000 would be the most. And that would be deducted off that as well, one versus the city for the amount they set aside.
And I've heard good things about this Arrow company from other departments that have bought ambulances from them. That they're a good company to work with.
I like that they're close by and not 7 hours away in Sterling, Illinois.
That's in Rock Rapids, correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
How far out are they? Do we know?
150 to 170 days, I thought I
Yeah,
saw.
Arrow says 150 to 180 days for completion. What about clocks? Are they about the same then? or-
They were giving us about 6 to 8 months.
Okay.
Approve the purchase from Arrow.
I'll support.
All right. Do you have any other questions or comments for Kevin? Or any?
So SCAT 2 is going away, and then SCAT 1 will be SCAT 2 again then?
Correct.
Okay. All right. May I have a roll call then, please?
Sawyer.
Aye.
Hamel.
Aye.
Gills.
Aye.
Funkert.
Aye.
Hint.
Aye.
Thank you, and thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
And number 7 on our agenda, considering the proposed For the certified testing services, Todd, you're up on this one.
Sure. At the last council meeting, we discussed with you guys our plans for the new wastewater plant. We made mention that we'd likely be expanding to the north. We also mentioned that we had done some preliminary test holes out there to even see if that area would be feasible, because like Brad mentioned at the meeting, that was an old dump site at one time. Since that time, we have planned a little further. So right now, we have a very good idea where the structures are going to sit. So what we'd like to do now is get certified to come in and do some more specific test holes where the foundations of our buildings and or other structures are going to be, just to further verify that we're going to be able to build there, and in the areas where there's fill, find out exactly how much fill we're going to have to over excavate to get back to solid ground to build our structures on. So that's what this proposal from Certified is. The price of this proposal is $7,600.
We really can't move forward with building design and structure without this, can we?
Correct. I wouldn't feel comfortable moving forward without knowing 100% what is in the building corners as we move forward, because I'd rather find out now than have a surprise later.
We did the debate early on already to do more test holes initially, but we figured we could do some of the initial testing first just to see once if it came back in those initial tests to do, what we do, 3-4 test holes.
Yeah, I think
when
we
it
did.
came back and that this wasn't even available, that would have changed the whole design element. So now that we know this is feasible, now it makes sense to spend more money to make sure it works.
And we put that in the budget for this coming year?
Yes.
Okay. Or this year, I should say.
Yes, it's
Okay, I'll move to approve that.
Support.
Any further, may I have a roll call, please?
Bunker.
Aye.
Hamel.
Aye.
Sawyer.
Aye.
Gales.
Aye.
Kent.
Aye.
Okay, next on our agenda is considering the engineering proposal for the new water tower. I apologize, my computer is locking up, not wanting to go where I want it to, and I don't have it printed. I know, Todd, you're going to share with us on that as well.
Sure. This is the proposal from DGR. It's to look at different designs of water towers and piping associated with it. This proposal was supposed to, we were unsure on some procurement issues, and we didn't want to jeopardize potential grant funding. We've found out since that as long as we don't utilize grant funds or community development block grant funds for engineering services, that we don't have to go through the federal procurement process on that portion of it. We think it's beneficial to go ahead and just move forward with the EGR. That way we can get design done and potentially make the application deadline for the first round of funding enough that we don't need the engineering dollars to meet our local match towards grant funding. It won't affect us one way or the other. If we were on a lower dollar project, I would probably feel differently about that. So be my recommendation to approve the contract TGR for $111,750 as a lump sum. And then along with that, there's an hourly estimate of $16,500 for additional services, permitting, easements, legal descriptions, funding assistance is all set up on hourly versus lump sum, because it's hard for them to estimate. Sometimes on permits, even depending upon which DNR official you get, can really change the amount of effort you can put into it. So we're hoping that's a not to exceed the 16.5. And I did want to make notice too, if you remember back when they did our hydraulic study, they said that they would credit us a portion of the money back if we moved forward with a project. So for the design of the elevated tank was $95,000, but they did give us a discount of $8,250 So the tank design portion is actually 86,000. Questions?
You got a fly swatter?
I do not. Sorry, I failed you.
It's not in the budget.
And we did budget 200,000 towards water tower design in the current fiscal year.
Right. Okay. I do not have any. Council, any questions or comments?
Make the motion to approve the engineering.
Thank you. Last request. Have a roll call, please.
Keels.
Aye.
Hamel.
Aye.
Hint.
Aye.
Sawyer.
Aye.
Bunkert.
Aye.
Okay, number 9 on our agenda, as we're almost halfway through. Considering the lot sale in the Trilogy Edition. This is to the 526 LLC. It is Lot 3, Block 1 on 26th Avenue in Trilogy Village. It's in the amount of $1,000 earnest money. And I don't have the rest of this, but this is the first right of refusal in there. In the comments of our purchase agreement.
I have a couple questions.
Sure.
One is if there's $1,000 earnest money but no down payment. I think we should have some money up front for the legal fees. And then the other thing is it's open-ended. I think we should have a time frame of the option. So those are the two things
Two questions that you
I
have.
have on it.
Well, I think that's why they came to us, is to have the first option to buy that before anyone else were to make that. But you are asking for a definitive date on closing?
I think we should have,
So-
give them 90 days or a year,
In the past.
Well,
re-out.
if somebody comes forward tomorrow morning, it won't get out of the way.
We have 10 business days is what's in the option to
Well, yeah, okay.
exercise.
But
Right.
I'm just saying,
The clock starts ticking
Right.
there.
This
it's
doesn't-
an option. They're not buying it.
Exactly. And Micah, what were you going to say? I'm sorry.
Well, in the past, with some of our options, we have said, for example, the next 10 years you have this.
Right.
Because otherwise, what potentially could happen is it just could be out there forever, never gets looked at again. This LLC goes away.
Mm-hmm.
What do we do? Renew it or extend it at some point? I think Brad is saying, how long are we gonna?
How long do we
grant the
want to
first
hold
option?
it? Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
It could be a short time. It could be a long time.
yeah. That's the question I have. Do we want to hold it or do we want to?
Well, it's my understanding we're not holding it. Period.
It would be accepting an offer without a closing date, correct?
All they want is an option to buy it.
Right.
What they're doing in my conversation with them is see if it'd be feasible for them to construct and move forward. So they just wanted to make sure that they had a lot locked in place before they did some of their research and putting their numbers together. I certainly think it's their intent. And I mean, maybe Danny can answer somebody that I don't think it would
That's right, Denny's here.
hurt if you did put a time frame on it of a year consideration of renewal. I think it's the party's intent that they'll certainly have information to move forward.
Excel group, we gave them a year option on that land.
Correct. That's what went with it, then expired.
So, then the other thing, will we have any legal fees by doing this?
A lot of
Unless you
times
order
what we
the
do
abstract.
is we draft up an option that can be recorded so the world is on notice. And I know in the ones we've done recently, we've said $100 to just make sure there's consideration for the contract.
Okay.
Something like that is consistent with past practice.
Then that's something we can add,
Can we add that in the motion?
right? Correct. And we can approve it, and then they would have to also
Yeah.
come back and approve that as well. So yes. So you want to give them a year like we did with Excel?
I would say a year is sufficient.
I agree.
Can always be re-upped or.
Is that adequate? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nobody takes any action on it. Next year he comes back, says,
Yep.
well, I went another year on it.
Or we let it go like the Excel.
Right.
Okay.
So is that the motion? Did you make that as a motion?
No, I didn't
No,
make
we
the
were just
motion
having
yet. I just had
conversation.
the
My
question.
question was going to be, is there going to be a motion where
So we would do
add-
that subject to, do we need to put an amount?
Well, your filing fee is going to be somewhere between $12 to $17.
Oh,
So if
no, then, nah.
what I was suggesting is, per our normal course, to say $100,
Right.
Okay.
because there's no abstracting at this point. But anytime you have a contract like this, if you can have some type of exchange of funds, whether it's $1 or $100, you've sealed the deal.
Okay.
So
I would make the motion subject to that fee and with a limit of 1 year.
Second?
I'll second that.
Okay. Any other questions, comments regarding this pending sale, the sale and lot trilogy edition? All right, may I have a roll call, please?
Sawyer.
Aye.
Gills.
Aye.
Hamel.
Aye.
Hint.
Aye.
Bunker.
Since
Aye.
this isn't cooperating, do you have the information for the pay estimate, please? Number 10, considering pay estimate number 3 on the airport hangar. In the amount of, go ahead.
$214,615.07.
Yeah, just an FYI, the floor is poured, the approaches are poured, the building has been delivered. At this point, they're planning on starting the building erection September 12th. There was a little bit of delay with concrete, which is why they're behind of where they wanted to be. Getting the mixed design approved by the engineers turned out to be a challenge.
Just to make note as a reminder, this to cover this. So.
Okay,
Make the motion.
all right. Is there a second?
Support.
Thank you. Any other comments, questions? May I have a roll call, please?
Hint.
Aye.
Bunker.
Aye.
Gills.
Aye.
Sawyer.
Aye.
Hamel.
Aye.
And number 11, considering the approval of wage for the wastewater operator after some interviews, we have a candidate. Scott, you want to share that with us?
We do, yes. We position of the wastewater operator. We had approximately, I didn't have the exact number, approximately, I think, 15 applications that we had received. Had 4 actually excellent interviews. We have offered the position to Nathan White. We have proposed to offer a starting wage of $17.36 per hour, and this is consistent and according to our union contract. And he also would be contingent upon a post-offer pre-employment physical and drug screening, and then would also be eligible for the other benefits as provided in the union contract. So it would be my recommendation to approve the starting wage of Mr. Nathan White.
Make the motion to approve.
Support.
And when will he start? I'm sorry.
Not exact specific date, contingent upon his notice
sure.
to the employer and stuff.
Absolutely.
So soon
Late
within 2 to
September.
3 weeks.
2 to 3 weeks? Okay, great. All right, then may I have a roll call, please?
Bunker.
Aye.
Gills.
Aye.
Sawyer.
Aye.
Hint.
Aye.
Hamel.
Aye.
And number 12 on our agenda, consider amendment to the Lewis and Clark commitment agreement. Scott, again, is going to share that with us.
Yeah, whether you're all aware or not, we have a commitment agreement as a member of the Lewis and Clark Regional Water System. Basically, this is our document. It's more or less deemed as our construction document. Once all the members are connected to Lewis and Clark, this agreement basically goes away, then discretion is basically at the pleasure of the board of directors. So by not having the project completed in a timely manner, it's kind of tying our hands on some of the issues related to what we refer to as the ARCA. To this commitment agreement, due to the fact that the project is not going to be completed, 50% of the members are actually connected. The water treatment plant is in operation. A number of sections of the pipeline. It basically ties our hands right now where we are unable to utilize funds that we are required to set aside in the capital improvement fund. The other unique thing about the ARCA, in order to amend the ARCA, we need 100% unanimous approval from the member. As a board, as board members, can't vote on amending the ARCA. It goes back to the member body, which in this case is the city council, to approve any amendments. And then once again, all 100%, all 20 members have to approve. One dissenting vote could kill the amendment. Based on conversations and my recommendation as well, this is more of a housekeeping item that we are proposing to change. And I'm going to read basically just two of the paragraphs here and can certainly elaborate if you need more information. The fourth paragraph in the amendment, section 2.32A of the amended and restated commitment agreement currently states as follows. Lewis and Clark shall establish a capital improvement fund for purposes of maintaining a reasonable reserve for capital improvements and replacements of and to the system other than operating machinery and equipment after completion of the construction of the system. So right there is kind of the issue we're running into. So if you go to the second page, at the top it references the proposed amendment. What we would do is the parties here to agree to amend the section 2.32A of the ARCA by deleting the first sentence thereof and replacing such sentence. Lewis and Clark shall establish a capital improvement fund for purposes of maintaining a reasonable reserve for capital improvements and replacements of and to the system other than operating machinery and equipment, period. So therefore, it's tying our hands as of right now of the dollars that are going into that capital improvement fund. If we want to tap into those funds, and like Sheldon, we're not connected. Until we're actually connected and all members are connected, they can't utilize those funds. So that's the proposed amendment before you today. Once again, I see it as a housekeeping item and strongly recommend for consideration.
How much money are they setting aside for the capital improvement?
Oh, I should have looked that up. There is a set amount that has some discretion to it, but you're required to fund the capital improvement fund, because here's one of the items they said. Well, let's say one member says, no, we don't think you should. We can budget $1 going forward in the capital improvement fund. Unfortunately, I think we probably have close to $500,000 in that fund already that we'd like to utilize if a pump goes out, a section of pipeline has to be replaced. By only going forward and putting $1 in there, but there's already more funds, and we'd like to Sheldon's benefit and all members not connected, it's to our benefit to continue to fund that, because also when we get connected in 5-10 years and the project's been running for 15 years already, there's items that have to be replaced. I hope they're setting money aside to replace some of those items. So,
but we could pull Sioux Falls like they did a couple of years ago when we wanted to do the construction note. They all voted no.
Correct.
We could vote no and say, you want to fund your own system, use the rest of our capital improvement money until we get water.
Then you'd have to go, if you wanted to go do a capital call, but once again, to go do a capital call, you need 100% unanimous
But I mean,
support.
Sioux Falls, they voted against it last time. So my feeling is we give in to them.
It's not giving in, and this is not a Sioux Falls amendment.
I understand that, but they were against applying for construction loans
Correct.
a couple of years ago.
Right.
I'm just throwing the devil's advocate out there.
Reason being is this would
Maybe we should pull
hurt
that.
Sheldon by
Maybe we
not
should pull-
approving this.
Right.
You know, you ain't gonna do any good.
I know what you're saying, but
Just getting it out, that's right.
You know?
playing the political game to say,
Yeah.
hey, here we can do it too.
We can
Yeah,
do it
you're,
too.
You're,
But
you're,
we're not.
You're kind of cutting off your left toe a little bit
Yeah,
there.
I understand that, but
For better people.
it's the point.
Go ahead and write that down and then give it to somebody to throw it away.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
Is this costing us anything? This one cost.
The city of Sheldon?
Yeah.
No, nothing.
No,
No.
it's just.
Lewis and Clark and legal fees to draft the amendment, no
Required-
change.
Are they, is there a requirement to maintain X amount of dollars in that fund? In other words, if they expend the entire fund before we ever get built, then there's no maintenance fund left?
Well, there's three separate reserve funds. There's an operations and maintenance fund. There's a the capital improvement fund, and there's one other one too. You know what the third one is, Todd? You've been to one meeting. You should know everything by now.
Come on, Todd.
Be up to speed.
Thought I'd listen to it all.
I guess my concern is that the funds be expended before we're ever hooked up, and then we don't have any reserve to call on.
There are, and I'll be honest with you, Pete, I'd have to look at the agreement. There are spelled out specifics of requirements of funding a certain amount of dollars to those funds.
Okay.
I will tell you, right, wrong, or otherwise, going forward, the operating budget has been doing very well. So the dollars above and beyond that we've made in revenue off the operating of the system have been put into these reserve funds instead of carrying an operating balance.
Okay.
I'm sorry I don't have those numbers in front of me, but we're well above in front of where we thought we would be at this point in time of operating the system.
All right.
So the board as a whole, based on the rates and the revenue coming in, have been very good about building those reserves.
Okay.
Because they know it's going to be very expensive when you got to start replacing parts on the water treatment plant, for
Sure.
example.
So,
Okay.
to Brad's point, if something goes out now, this amendment would allow this money to be used for that replacement part.
Correct. Depending on the item is the difference between the capital improvement fund versus the operating
Sure.
fund.
And if-
But yes,
Yeah.
we
But-
can utilize this fund now. It's more now at the board move to use funds out of the capital improvement fund, whereas now we can't because the ARCA, until all members are connected, are unable to tap into
But
those
if you
funds.
couldn't use it going forward, still all members, including Sheldon, potentially could pay for it
Correct.
just from different sources.
Right.
Yeah.
They do a capital call, and kind of back to Randy's question, they came and did a capital call and say, hey, we want to borrow money to replace this. They come to Sheldon, all members unanimously have to agree to do a capital call of $10 million to replace something. They're hoping to set funds aside to
Or
do
they'd
some of
have
those
to take it out
items.
of their operating fund that
Yes,
comes from Sheldon contributions too.
not today.
Not today.
We don't contribute nothing to that today because we're not. That is being built out of revenue generated off water sales. So other than the loan we have right now for our capital cost of the system and our lobbying fees, those are the only expenses which have not changed, are the only fees we're paying right now, which are not any different than what they've been for a number of years. Unless they came back and made a specific request to ask for more funds. So financially, this amendment has no bearing financially.
Housekeeping.
Okay, little bearing. If they expend all the funds, we can't tap into it ever.
We are Lewis and Clark.
I understand. But I'm just saying we're late to the dance, and if all the partners are taken, you dance by yourself. I'm sorry?
We're not putting any money into it today either.
Did we ever, though?
No.
We have put money into something. Where did it go?
The capital cost of the system to
Okay.
build it, construction.
So these funds were raised
By fees.
These funds are being raised off revenues off of water sales. So purchasing water,
All right, then
those
that-
are the only ones that are contributing to these
that's a
funds.
little more palatable then. Okay.
But if
Yeah.
we voted no, and the system went down, where are they gonna get the funds from? I mean, are you saying capital call then?
Could be, that's one option, or from the operating maintenance fund, if it
Or
would
from
technically
the 11, or from
qualify.
the 11 that are hooked?
But the 11 that are hooked would be paying for it this way. I think that's what Scott's
Right.
trying to say.
They're
Yeah, I
paying for it
understand.
this way.
Right.
And I think we'll choose a different time, as long as they're not using money that we put in. It's money they generated, that's one
That's a
thing.
whole different source.
I just
No offense,
I
all the
agree
money that
with
we put in is
Brad's-
spent already.
I agree with Brad's.
I understand.
Yeah. Oh, there's some bitter angst there, don't worry.
Yeah.
It comes up often.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Any other discussion then?
In the butt at this point.
At this point, choose your.
And do we have a motion
I'll
to
make the
approve
motion to
them?
approve that
Thank you.
agreement.
Support.
Thank you. Last comments, questions? Putting Scott to a test on Lewis and Clark here. Okay. Mayor, roll call, please.
Hint.
Aye.
Gills.
Aye.
Sewell.
Aye.
Thank you.
Todd really wanted to handle that.
Yeah, I could tell. Mike.
The day will come. Are you still gonna be in the
Yep.
I'm just hoping I live long enough to see it.
Yeah, no kidding. Number 13 on our agenda, considering the change order number 1 on the Crossroads Pavilion. At this time, we are not taking action on that. So moving forward, number 14, the discussion of temporary appointment of duties during the interim, that we are going to be without a city manager. We've met, Todd, Ange, Brad, and I, and discussed who's going to handle what, how, where, and when. So I'd like to make the recommendation that in the interim that we are without a city manager, Todd Ewell and Angela Beckman to act as interim for the purposes of signing off on purchase order, vacation request, basic day-to-day office functions, anything that is beyond budget or beyond daily functions, they would inquire with myself, Brad, etc. So I'd like to have 2 motions. First, that one for them to act as that, and then the second, because they will be filling in and have already been filling in and helping out, compensation, and that would have to be read by resolution. And I can read the resolution to you, but what we are recommending is paying Todd an additional $2,000 per month until a city manager is hired, and also paying Angela Beckman $2,000 per month until a city manager is hired. Once we hire someone and they start, we can relook at that depending on the learning curve of where we will be, how much training will be involved when we do get our new city manager. So the first portion that I'd like to have motion and approval on is formally approving Angela Beckman and Todd Ewell to act as interim city managers for the daily housekeeping, office, street, taking care of those things for us, so we don't have to come in and bother them every day.
Make
Any
that
questions?
motion.
Thank you.
Support.
Okay, questions? Comments? Thank you. May I have a roll call, please, on that?
Hamel.
Aye.
Gills.
Aye.
Funker.
Aye.
Sawyer.
Aye.
Hint.
Aye.
Thank you. And then it would be by resolution to approve the salary increases. Again, Todd $2,000 and Angela $2,000 per month. Any questions or comments? And if not, do we have a motion to approve that?
So move.
Support.
Okay. Any thoughts? Thoughts? No thoughts? Okay. May I have a roll call on that as well, please?
After seeing what they all are going to be responsible for,
Right.
I believe it's fair.
I know Scott, Todd, and Ange, they met for about 3 hours or so going over those files that we were hoping to be gone before you left, which we know they can't be. And then we had met for a couple hours too, and it went very well, very confident. You will be missed. But I know we have a great team that will hold us together until we get someone new on board. So, did I take a roll call? Or I
No.
was about to. May I have a roll call?
Gills.
Aye.
Hint.
Aye.
Hamel.
Aye.
Sawyer.
Aye.
Funkert.
Aye.
Okay. Comments other than Scott?
I do.
Just quick update, I thought I'd give everybody on the event center.
Thank you.
The rain has we probably lost about a day and a half, but I would say they're still on schedule because they were ahead of their proposed schedule before that. They're currently working on sheeting the walls. They should be going to the roof shortly. That will be nice because then there's not much that will hold them up for weather because they can always go inside. They were considering starting to pave the parking lot this week, but with the rains, they pushed that back. So I would hope to see next week sometime some cement starting to go down in the drive-in entrance and parking lot. So
Nice.
they're moving forward nicely.
I guess I would like in the sometime, instead of each of us bugging you individually, sometime to maybe organize a tour to go out there once it gets a little further along to kind of do a walkthrough and say, kind of visualize it as a group or something.
Or you want to wait till like after they get a roof on it or something?
Well,
Yeah, let's do that.
But
Pavement and
instead, like I say, instead of each of us bugging you individually and if you'd set up a time and invite and whoever shows up can go, whatever.
Okay.
Went by there today. They have started sheeting the roof.
Oh,
Oh,
did they
great.
start on the roof today? Is that okay?
Drove by last night and there must have been almost 1,000 birds just sitting on the rafters again. He said, well,
Maybe
migrating to
the
south.
vultures will change their roost.
Yep.
I just want to thank if you guys are done, the SCDC,
Oh, did
the
you have
city
something?
staff
Okay.
for the way the town looked in the celebration days. It was very impressive. So,
Mm-hmm.
and even the citizens. So,
I
thank
also
you.
would chime in and say that I know Lyle's not here, but we had good support for the cruise night and things were tolerable. They exerted a good, how do I want to say this? The right amount of pressure to keep things, it was reasonably sane. Well, it has to stay that way. So they did a great job.
And you had something?
Okay, on October 26th, I've organized with Officer Wood to have ALICE training, it's active shooter training, and we're going to do a morning session and afternoon session for all of our office employees, the SCDC, and you guys are all welcome to come if you feel like it. I have wasp spray here, which is one thing that I have learned with active shooting.
I want it here.
So, yeah, no, I'm keeping it down here by me.
Okay.
But if you guys want to participate in that, just know.
What day again?
October 26th.
And they're doing a morning and an afternoon,
Yes.
possibly?
He was thinking 3 to 4 hours
Okay.
for a session.
All right, sounds good. Okay, any other comments other than Scott?
Just one about the Economic Development Conference out at NCC on September 21. If that's not on your radar, it'd be nice to have a good representation of leadership from the community there. So in the event you haven't gotten an invitation,
Check that out.
talk to Kurt. Debbie Durham, the State Economic Development Director, head of the Economic Development Office, will be there. And she will actually be there the night before, too, I think. Right, Kurt? There's a... So... But it's close, it's convenient.
Yeah,
We should really make that part of our agenda if at all possible.
September 21. Thank you. Okay, now, comments for Scott. I'm going to start. We're going to keep you here as long as we can. This meeting isn't going to end. I'm just kidding. I feel like we keep looking at the clock, looking at what time it is. Here's a little something from us. But I want to say, my second term, 7th year as mayor, and I cannot thank you enough for making what I do easy. I feel you've held my hand and made it a wonderful experience, and I thank you for that. And I thank you for your 14 years of dedicated to Sheldon and really taking us to new places and building a great team, being a part of a great team, and I can't thank you enough. I know you're going home, and you're not far, and you won't hear, this isn't the last of us, you'll hear us, but I wish you the best, and I'm very happy for you. I know what it feels like to go home and to work in your hometown, so congratulations and best wishes to you. Okay, next.
Well, I'm the newbie, but not really. But at any rate, it's always been a pleasure to work with you. You've always been very professional, and I appreciate it. Good luck in your endeavors.
Thank you.
I'm going to miss you on the golf course.
Okay.
He's not leaving
No,
that,
thanks.
is he?
So you can always beat me then.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. No, thanks for making my years on the council enjoyable, and we may not see eye to eye on some things, but at the end of the day, we can go home and still talk to each other. So, thanks.
Wish you the best. This is my third term. I've learned a lot. We've done a lot. Sheldon's grown quite a bit, and I want to thank you for your hard work in that effort and leading the team, and it's been fun. Wish you the best.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure dealing with you for 3 years. I've been on city council. You've made my job very easy. You've kept us all well informed, which really helps of keeping the ball rolling and keeping our city moving forward. Wish you nothing but the best. Enjoy your time over there.
Thank you.
You've taken your share of pot shots over the years.
Oh, amen.
And I don't know where if the thick skin comes from being a referee or if being a city manager makes you a good referee.
Go hand in hand.
I think so.
Somebody's asked me that before. You get beat up all day.
Yeah,
You go do that
the punishment.
Why do you do that to yourself?
But through it all, you've maintained a level of decorum and professionalism that is to be admired. You have made, others have commented, you've made our jobs easy. You're always prepared. Always have an open door. If I come in, you've always had the door open. I return a call promptly. And again, it's just been a real pleasure to work with you. And yeah, Sioux Center's your hometown, but Sheldon's your family's hometown. So don't ever forget that.
Right.
So
Thank you.
thank you.
Wow.
Well, I first had was going to write a nice long speech or whatever, but I figured that wasn't going to last anyway. So, just a comment. I think I've talked to just about every one of you before too, and thank you all as well, and the current mayor and council, of course, the term you're in, but to anybody else, previous mayors and councils as well. The 14 years with all its ups and downs. I honestly believe, hopefully you feel that way too, leaving this place, hopefully a better place than what it was. I mean, with the amount of things that have taken place, and I'm not going to point at myself or taking credit by any means for all those things. I just see myself as the puzzle maker of always trying to make all those pieces blend and work together. And your first comment from the staff standpoint of assembling a team, and I'll reiterate that by saying you're in good hands. The folks you have in place, from the senior management staff all the way down to all the employees, are fantastic. So you're in good hands. You're not going to miss a beat going forward. So with that, thank you. Best wishes to all of you as well, and you'll be missed.
Thank you. So will you. Tough shoes to fill. Keeping us busy. Okay, on that note,
Can we let Scott be the honorary and make the motion?
Just don't put in the minutes. So moved. Go home. Most times I do want to get out of here right away because
we'll let you go. We have a motion to adjourn by
I'll make the motion.
second.
I will support that.
Ayes all?
Aye.
Ayes all. Let's just do it that way. Aye, aye, Captain. So thank you again, Scott.
You bet.
They were going to let Pete say no.
Yeah, I'm not giving you a chance to keep this meeting going. Absolutely. Some names from you?
Yeah, thanks, Frank. Yeah, it's been a pleasure working with you as well.